FiiO's Q3 is their latest portable DAC and amp. Connecting via USB to a computer or smartphone, it's supposed to be an upgrade from something like this lightning dongle. But how much of an upgrade is it? Well, FiiO sent me one to check out. The Q3 is a pretty slim and reasonably lightweight device. It's 110 grams, so maybe that, the battery that's inside makes it a little bit heavier. It's about kind of phone size, and I can do a comparison with my phone, but my phone is shooting the video at the moment. But I mean, it's lighter and slimmer than, say, the Q5S. If you see in size comparison there, the Q5S is considerably larger. If I just lay them on top there, there's an easy comparison, and also considerably thinner. So it's considerably lighter as well. It has a lighter battery, but unlike the Q5S, it doesn't have Bluetooth, which the Q5S does. It doesn't have amp modules, which this does as well, and doesn't have anywhere near as much power output. And it only goes up to about 330 milliwatts compared to the Q5S, which is has a fair bit more. So I mean, in terms of features, I mean, this has multiple inputs in kind of both ends, and Bluetooth, of course. And this has, well, you only really get USB input, or optionally line-in input, which makes it just an amp. Conveniently though, one of the issues that comes up with this kind of device is, do you want it to charge? You don't want to plug your phone in and have it try and charge the device. With the original Q5, they had two USB ports, one for charging and one for digital input. And then with the Q5S, they had some funky switching method where you have to hold down a key at startup to ensure it doesn't charge off your phone. This just has a switch, which makes life much easier. You just go, there, now there you go, charging is on when you plug in USB and charging is off. And you can see also on the back you have your good old bass boost switch, which shows up on FiiO devices as well, which gives a 6 decibel boost to the bass, which is a lot. And it even in fairly bass light in-ear monitors, it was a significant jump. And let's get that out of the way. If you really do like your bass, it'll be good for those people who like hip-hop music, and where the hip-hop music is recorded really flat and you really want that bass boost, they'll probably enjoy that. Other than that, it was even overwhelmingly much, even for me. So also you have a gain switch, which optionally, if it's in high gain, will turn green, and if it's press, will turn into low gain. This also allows you to reset the electronics in the unit with a 15-second press, and apparently a double tap changes a digital filter, although actually I'll get that out of the way and just say I didn't notice any difference at all. Actually, in high gain mode, it was actually not really that loud. Actually, when you turn it on, as I did from here, the volume control had to go up a fair way before I noticed any sound at all, even with the good old Campfire Andrometers, which are sitting here cableless because I just swapped the cable around for the new IEMs. And there was a tiny little bit of hiss from this, even out of the balanced output ports. But otherwise, it actually doesn't seem to have that much, it doesn't output that much volume. It worked out really well for in-ear monitors. But before we get into that, there are, of course, 3 outputs. Now, both balanced outputs, you have the new 4.4mm, the Astel and Kern 2.5mm, and you can only use one at a time. Plugging in one will cancel out the other. So if you plug in both, you'll get no sound. And of course the 3.5mm output, which has less power, about half as much as the balanced outputs, but it also allows line input if you just want to use it as an amp. And of course, famously, it uses a THX AAA28 amplifier. But whether that's going to make a difference at this kind of price point, well, in that, I did compare it. So we have this, we have the good old Q5S, and we have a few other devices sitting around on my desk. An M11 Pro, which is sitting here doing a nice job of reflecting my lights above. And I also have the good old M3 Pro, which I reviewed as well. You can actually check out the reviews of these products in my channel if you haven't already. You can also just search for the product name and Amos, or product name and Currawong, and you'll actually find the reviews as I tagged them all. So, but in that, the main thing you really want to compare to is one of these little lightning dongles. And so that's what I did. And for my comparison, well, I tried a variety of in-ear monitors, but the ones I'm going to feature at the moment in this review, because they represented quite well, was my recently reviewed pair of FH3s. And if you saw my review, I actually really like these. They're a really lively pair of in-ear monitors, and they have, well, a big bass driver. And as having a big bass driver, that means you kind of really notice when the drive of the in-ear monitors is poor or not so good. Out of the good old dongle, well, let's see, I have actually, FiiO provided this LCRE cable as well with them, which is their adaptable cable, which is very handy. You can take off the plugs, and in this case I swapped on a 3.5mm plug and locked it in for use with the good old dongle. Now out of the dongle, compared to like any kind of amp, the bass was very noticeably weaker. I mean, it wasn't like a subtle thing at all. It was very, very different. And, these dongles have to not take much power, and, the electronics have to fit in the plug. And they do a decent job, but you do lose that kind of that bass thump very, very readily. And so, that's the kind of thing a lot of people want to upgrade from. I mean, just for basic listening through, cheaper in-ear monitors, they always do fine. And I mean, for line out to something else, I mean, I could just use a line out straight to this. Well, I might try that as well. But so the main thing is you want to use some kind of, amp for something better, even just like these inexpensive FH3s, which I think are good value. The Q3 comes with a USB 3 to USB 3 adapter for smartphones that use USB-C output, and a USB-C input from Lightning output. Now this is a FiiO special thing. If you haven't seen one of these before, they don't work with other devices. It doesn't actually contain a camera connection kit in there or the electronics for it, unlike this cable, which is from another manufacturer, which does, and actually gets quite warm when it is used. And I use this actually for connecting up. I'm actually using one now for connecting up a Sentra's Mixerface R4 to my iPhone, longer version anyway. So this only works with this one that FiiO includes only works with the FiiO devices, and I've seen a few people complain that they break. I mean, they're kind of simple and rubbery, not very strongly reinforced, but they seem to be robust enough. But you have to be a little bit cautious that these things may break. Anyhow, I connected it up, and well, there was definitely a jump up in bass performance from these FH3s, and a jump up in kind of overall clarity with the in-ear monitors over the good old Lightning dongle that Apple provides. Now, I haven't tried any USB-C dongles, but I expect that anything limited in power, much like this, even for Android smartphones, is going to be a little bit behind, or some degree behind, something like this Q3. So in that, well, but how about other stuff? Going from the Q3 to the Q5S, well, yes, there's another jump up again still. This doesn't really have that much output power, even 300 milliwatts at, at 32 ohms. It kind of felt like it was a little bit behind, like the dynamics of the sound were much better out of the Q5S. It just kind of sounded more lively and dynamic. Now, consider that I was using good quality recordings. Not everyone may notice a big jump here. Where the really big jump was noticeable was with full-sized headphones. Now, just for entertainment, I used to use a pair of Focal Utopias, and I don't really expect people to use headphones costing 10 or 20 times the cost of this with a with the Q3. But that was when it was really noticeable, because even say with classical, I could just max the volume on high gain. Actually, the high gain to me was so low that I thought that I was on low gain when I was actually listening with in-ear monitors. But in that, I easily max the volume on high gain, especially with with louder music may not be such a case, but it's kind of pushing the limit of what this can do in just terms of pure sound output. So, with something like, I have some very inexpensive headphones around, such as a pair of Audio-Technica ESW9 Limiteds, which are kind of equivalent to like the ES950, similar in that kind of thing, and they're easy to power, and they work something well out of something like this, where I might be sitting at home, or the kind of thing you might take along to a hotel room, where this is compact and something you can slip in your suitcase with a small pair of headphones and just enjoy. But the in-ear monitors were definitely where it was optimum. Now in that, I really do think that compact devices such as this should be like this M3 Pro and just have a good quality single-ended output, because the average person is just going to buy a pair of headphones and not know or care about balanced anything. And as this is kind of more into your audiophile level, because it has this balanced output, and you have to use it, and it has to be ideal. Now, if you're buying enthusiast headphones, again, like these FH3s, well, you can get stuff like, well, a balanced connector, or a cable with a balanced connector on them. But, your average inexpensive headphones may not have that, and so it can be a little bit confusing to the consumer. And there's no reason you can't do a high-quality single-ended output with even as much power as this balanced output has, and compromise anything. It's perfectly doable. And you use fewer components, and they generally don't have to worry about matching components, because you essentially balanced uses two amplifiers, and if they have unmatched components, well, you're going to have it's going to defeat the whole purpose of having balanced, because it will not be imbalanced truly in absolute performance terms. But that rant aside, I mean, I use primarily the balanced output, and I expect people who buy one of these will. And if you want a significant step up from the good old dongle, it is. If you want a further step up and more features, well, then you have to jump to a Q5S. And that's where you're going to get a noticeable jump up in performance, and kind of full-sized headphone output is going to be more noticeable. And if you want, say, optical input, because you can only use, other than USB, use line in, well, then you've got this here too. And you've got, we've got gain as well, but you've got more options in terms of how you use it than you do with the Q3. And again, if you want the whole shebang, something above this, you'd have to go to something like this M11 Pro, or even just an M11. But in terms of other performance, well, you're probably wondering, well, what about a BTR-5? So I did compare them. Again, using this funky cable from FiiO, because it comes with a 2.5mm balanced adapter, I tried it against the good old BTR-5. Now, of course, the BTR-5 is primarily designed as a Bluetooth receiver, so it's something you'd hook onto onto your shirt while you have, can send data from your smartphone. It's not something you'd hook up strapped to your smartphone so much. And in that, well, it was kind of comparable in sound quality to the good old Q3. I would say, I could pick the sound apart in terms of, fine details about, maybe this was slightly different or that, but generally the overall performance was kind of similar. And, a lot of people do like the kind of BTR-5 sound. I mean, it does sound pretty decently good. Not the cleanest sound. And maybe the Q3, well, like a lot of kind of Sigma Delta DAC type devices, such as these, which all use AKM DACs, other than the really, high-end ones, which usually are AKM, the 4497 or 4499, these ones which all use, excepting this, which use things like the 4490, 4491, in this case 4492 and 4493, they generally sound, well, they sound okay, but maybe in the top end, maybe a little bit kind of a touch of hardness, maybe it's touch unnatural compared to something like a, the 4497, 4499, or something like the good old Chord Mojo, which uses, much more processing power. It's not going to get anywhere. The balanced output of this is not going to get anywhere near the single-ended output of a Mojo, or even just the single-ended output of something like this DAP. But, I mean, for someone who wants something that, for this particular form factor, to strap onto a phone that does better than the dongle, I thought the resolution was okay. Again, not as good as the higher end stuff, but if I were to lay this down here, and maybe kind of, I'd probably say it's comparable to, the cheaper end stuff. If I made this a layout of kind of, if I gently I've got Velcro on the back here, so I'm not damaging anything. If I were to do like, oh, well, how do they all sound and how would I line them all up? Using the USB inputs, I'd probably say better sound quality, more power, better output going in this direction. So as things go, well, apart from for in-ear monitors, and if you're going to go balanced, and this suits you, if the form factor suits, it looks like the kind of thing you want to have to use with your phone above and beyond, as I said, the Lightning dongle or USB-C dongle kind of thing. The FiiO Q3 does the job. If you need more power, jump up to a Q5S. If you want the full shebang, get a M11 or M11 Pro, or you can get the if you want to go super, even further, like a Mojo and Poly to go as well. And if you want the super simple, and you just want the maybe USB DAC input as well as the mini DAP functions, you've got this little M3 Pro to go as well. So if you're wondering what I think choose upon the form factor you like, and this gives you another option that some of these don't give you. You don't need quite a heavy device as this or Bluetooth. You've got this. You don't need a DAP, but you want USB input. You've got the Q3 as well. Bluetooth is not your deal either. Again, you've got the Q3, and you've got probably longer battery life in there too. And again, higher end stuff, well, is higher end stuff. So that, I hope, gives you a good overview of the Q3. And does anyone have one? If you have one, post some comments and tell me what you think of it, and whether it worked for you and how it went. There's always sometimes some user situation which I miss, and it's always good to have not just my opinion, but feedback from actual customers who bought these. And thanks to FiiO to sending one. And don't forget, if you want to see more of these videos, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell button as well so you get notified when I have a new video out. Also, it's important to note these videos are thanks to the people whose names you see on screen, as well as many others. In exchange for their support, I'll happily give buying advice anytime. You can chat to me. You can influence what stuff I review. You can sometimes have votes and talk about stuff I'm going to review, and you can ask me to review stuff as well. And, you know, in getting my advice, as I always say, I try and help people out so they don't spend money on the wrong thing and buy the right thing and are hopefully satisfied, and that can save them more than the the couple of bucks I asked for becoming a supporter. So happily sign up and ask me questions as you like. As always, thanks once again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you online.